Okay. I'm recording all the sessions, they upload on my YouTube channels. So if you miss anything, just, find my channel with my full name on YouTube, then use it. Okay. I will upload all the recordings. Okay. All right. It's a good day, right? The weather is perfect. Okay. All right, let me start. Before starting, I just want to make sure if everyone's ready. So any issue, connections, your health, whatever, okay? So you don't have any issue, so you are ready to start, please type yes. Okay. All right, great. Okay, thank you so much. All right, I just want to remind you, in the last time, what we talked about? We talked about the timing of entry, right? The timing of entry. First mover, second mover. First mover has some advantages and also disadvantages. Okay, so first mover is not always become a winner. Okay, so we talked about that. In this time, we're gonna talk about strategic direction. This is a part of, and also the fundamental idea of strategic management, which I will teach at the very end of the semester. Not this semester. Your very end of the semester before graduations in the strategy management. Okay, so we just briefly talk about this very simple topic. Okay, if you understand, reduce cost, increase product differentiations, and this gap creates competitive advantage. If you understand this fundamental idea, then you don't have any problem. Okay, all right, let's talk about that. All right, this is next week schedule. All right, October. So next week, Tuesday, we will have exam 2. Okay. This exam will cover 3 chapters, chapter 5, 6, and 7. Okay. All right. And presentation 2. Okay. And this time, you become a researcher. Okay. Then find the real case, the real organization. Okay. Real technology, real innovation, whatever. Okay. Real organization. It doesn't matter profit-seeking or non-profit-seeking organizations. It can be any organizations. You select it, okay? You find it, and apply what I have discussed. Okay, so far. All right. Okay. Why they are successful or why they are not successful. Okay. So find the real case and you analyze it in terms of their technology and innovations. Okay. Again, it should be 5 to 10 minutes presentations. Okay. 5 to 10 minutes presentations. Okay. And it's an open presentation, so anyone can just jump into the presentation and ask questions or make comments or whatever. Okay. All right. Any question about exam 2 and presentation 2? Okay. Then we are move. Okay. This is the distribution of your last one case. Okay. Look at this. Average is 6.47 out of 7. It's great. And standard deviation is less than 1. Okay. It's great too. So based on these numbers, okay, you are doing great. Look at this. That's good. All right, so let's talk about strategic direction. Strategy. Okay, we want to start with our one case. Okay, so please go ahead for quiz And now you can find chapter 6 warm keys. Chapter 6 warm keys. Okay. Please take it. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. 12, 46. Okay, 10 minutes. All right. So we're Molly, Jennifer, Luke, Jackson. Okay, there's this done. It's all right, Emily. All right, anyone needs more time? Please let me know. Okay, Jesse. Okay. All right, I think everything's done. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay. So number one, strategic decision. We are going to talk about strategic management in terms of technology. Okay. So I just want to make sure about that. Number one, formulating a technological innovation strategy first requires an accurate appraisal of where the firm currently is. Is it true or false? You can type, you can say, either way, you can communicate with us. Is it true or false? Yes, very true. Okay, very true. The process of strategy management. Analyze environment, formulate the strategy, and implement the strategy. Okay, these three steps are the process of strategy management. Okay, so technological innovation strategy 2. Okay, technological strategy, innovation strategy is part of strategy management. Okay, all right. So analyze the environment, formulate the strategy, and implement the strategy. Okay. Two types of environments. What? External and internal. Probably your textbook is not talking about this. But external environment, you cannot control. Internal environments, you can control. So you can divide, distinguish this, then you can analyze the environments. Okay. Number two, when demand is increasing, okay, it's a good thing. There is a less revenue to go around. No, there's more revenue, right? Demand is increasing. Okay, firms will experience more competitive pressures. Probably, yeah, probably. Okay, but there are more competitors. Firms will experience more competitive pressures, but the same number of competitors, demand is increasing, then less competitive pressures. So this falls. Okay. Number three, according to the Porter's 5-4-6 model. Okay, probably some of you already looked at this model in the Principles of Management, MGT301. You already saw it. Okay, 5-4-6, something like a rivalry, the bargaining power of suppliers and the buyers and substitutes, the pressure for the substitute, and what is that? One more thing. We want to talk about that. Okay. So, 5-4-6 model. The threat of potential entrant is influenced. Yes, this is. The threat of potential entrants is influenced by the height of entry barriers. Yes, of course. Okay. High entry barriers. Okay. Low threat of potential entrants. Okay. A direct relationship between these two. Number four, a music downloading software and an MP3 player are substitutes for one another. Is it substitutes? Anybody idea?
They're actually complements, not substitutes. They complement one another.
Thank you so much, Noah. It's a complements, right? It's a complements, not substitutes. Okay, so this is false. Complements are important in these days, especially because increasing revenues to adoption. We talked about that, right? Like iPhone and iPhone webs, iPhone apps, applications. Okay? So complements become more and more important in this today's economy. We talked about that already. Number 5, if a firm's product is undifferentiated, so same, not it's the same service, same product, buyers will typically experience lesser bargaining power. Buyers will have more great bargaining power because products are almost the same, not differentiated. Then buyers can, pick up anything. Then buyers have great bargaining power. So this is false. Number 6, resources of a tangible nature. Tangible means you can touch it, you can see it, something like that. That can be readily codified are called tacit resources. What are tacit resources? Anyone? Tacit resources. Hey, Jesse says it's false. It is the opposite. Tacit. Okay. Jesse is typing something, so I'm gonna say it. All right. Jesse has a great point. Okay, tacit is difficult to extract knowledge, harder to put together. Yes, exactly. Okay, tacit is a sort of know-how, something like that. Okay, you cannot codify it. Okay, you cannot document it, but there's something. All right, it's a something you cannot see it. Okay? You cannot codify it, but there's something. Okay, it's a know-how. Where is it? Tacit knowledge, tacit resource. People. Okay, between you and people, and also the network of people. That's why we care about people. Okay, in your business, people is the most important thing. Okay, you should take care. I told so at the beginning of the semester. Okay? In some point, when you set up a new business, entrepreneurial business, until some point, financial capital is very, very important, okay, to survive. And then at some point, human capital is everything. People becomes everything. Okay, so you should have your people for your business. Then your people will have some tacit resources, of course. Okay. Number 7, past dependency refers to those abilities that make a firm more agile and responsive to change. This is the definition of dynamic capabilities. Okay, not past dependency. Past dependency means people stick with the past. This is past dependency. Okay, sometimes past dependency helps, but in many cases, past dependency actually hinder your innovations. Okay, number 8. In Prahalad and Hammer's model, it is possible for a firm to develop core competencies. What is a core competencies? What are core competencies? Okay, the resources that make your organization have competitive advantage. Okay, those are core competencies. To a set of abilities that enable it to quickly reconfigure its organizational structure and routines in response to new opportunities. Yes, it can be core competencies. Dynamic capabilities. Okay, I'm gonna talk about dynamic capabilities a little bit more. Okay, because that is, important topics. All right, great. Any question, comment? So can I move? Please say yes. All right, thank you so much. So I'm gonna move. Okay, we are here. Okay, the most important chapters in this course, chapter 6, 7, 8. Okay, 6, 7, 8. In my perspective, these chapters are the most important chapters. Okay. To talk about these chapters, we talked about the previous ones. Okay. All right. So today class activity. Okay. See your case again. Okay. All right. It is very, very interesting case. Really. This is very interesting case. It implies a lot of important things in the business. Okay? Find a niche market, growing a company, and adjust your environment, something like that. Okay? This is very, very interesting case. Okay, Jim's case, Orphan Drugs. Jim is very interesting in a company. Also, Orphan Drugs. This is also a very interesting phenomenon in the biotechnology industry. Okay? So you already read this, case, so you understand the level is pretty good. Then this time we focus on these 3 questions, not first 2, 3 questions, only 3 questions. Okay, the last 3 questions. Okay, we focus on this. So I'm gonna make your breakout rooms for your teams. Okay, so we have 4 teams, and I'm gonna wait 10 minutes. 10 minutes. All right, please meet with your team and talk about the last 3 questions. The last 3 questions. Please go ahead. I'm gonna mute my microphone, but I am here. So if you have any question, concern, just let me know.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
All right. Welcome. Welcome. So this time we are in the middle of the semester, so we are pretty good at the design of this class. So I'm gonna go a little bit speedy. Okay, speedy. Okay, so let's talk about orphan drugs. Okay? Very important topics, very interesting topics of biotechnology industry. Okay, so teams, please share with us what you discussed. Does Genjim's focus on orphan drugs make sense for you? Do you think Genjim has a long-term strategic intent? Please go ahead. Anyone?
Our group discussed that it seems like it definitely does make sense. First of all, the fact that the orphan drugs have a protected guideline where there's no protected timeline where there's no competition, and also just the targeted market, making marketing easier, made it make sense. And there are always going to be rare diseases that need solutions.
Good point, Emily. Thank you so much, Emily. Regulations. So think about that. We talked about environments, external, internal environments. Okay, I talked about that, right? External environment. You cannot control the regulations. It's a given. And actually, these regulations help Genjim's strategic intent, right? Set strategic direction. 7 years of market exclusivity. Okay, market exclusivity. Okay, patents and market exclusivities are different. Okay, so you can find it on the by googling. Okay, if you're interested in it. So at this point, okay, external environment helped a lot, and they used it. It's good. It's a point. Okay, and Jesse saying we talked about them being in a niche market. Okay, product differentiations. Yeah. Product differentiations. So external environment was good, and Genjin made product differentiations in a niche market, and it's perfect. And then they skyrocketed. Do they have a long-term strategic intent? How do you think? Yes. Yes. Okay. They have a strategic intent, of course. Okay. Of course. Any other point? So external environment and product differentiations. Any other point?
The one last thing I would say that I kind of discussed how it was a blue market strategy. So they've kind of created a market where they don't have competition, and basically the business model itself is the differentiating factor.
Okay, so blue ocean strategy. Blue ocean strategy. Okay. So in a just general market in the biopharmaceutical industry, it's a red ocean, but Emily says it's a blue ocean. In the niche market, it's a blue ocean. So they created blue oceans, and they used it. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Any other point? Okay, let's move. Why do you think Genjim has diversified into other areas of medicine? What are the advantages and disadvantages of this? Anyone can evaluate it? Diversification. Getting to other markets. Is it good or not?
I kind of saw that when they went into like the ultra orphan diseases, when they kind of started their target market was people with like the ultra orphan diseases that were even more unique. I thought that was another even one might even say more even like niche market to kind of focus on and target on, as well as like the advantages to that are you're like obviously just saving more people's lives with the medicine that you're creating, but you're also finding a new customer base with the different diseases that you develop medicine for.
All right, it's a sort of past dependency. Okay, Genjin has a specialty in developing orphan drugs. Okay, usually orphan drugs have little different, context from developing the general, drugs like blockbusters. Okay, orphan drugs and blockbusters are totally different process. Okay, so Genjin has a specialty in developing orphan drugs, so they just look into other markets, other specialty markets, orphan drug markets, so they can utilize their resources. Okay, so it's a disadvantages. Okay, good. Any other point? Any other point? So there is a disadvantage too. Okay, disadvantage too. Core rigidity. Okay, core rigidity. So orphan drugs, again, okay, Genjin has a specialty in orphan drugs. They focus on always orphan drugs. Then, when they have some change in their regulations, okay, or their internal organizations, their markets, okay, they have to change it to themselves. They should be flexible, but they always focus on the orphan drugs. Then they have core rigidities. Okay, they cannot change themselves nimbly, okay, quickly. That can be a disadvantage too. But this is a potential disadvantage. We don't see that issue at this point. Huh? All right, then the next one. What recommendations would you offer Genjin for the future? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What recommendations? Please go ahead. Please tell us your idea.
I had suggested a messaging board for researchers and physicians. This would solve kind of two problems. First of all, it would raise awareness for drugs and research and drugs that they're working on. But also, it would develop a pipeline of experts for potential future diseases if they wanted to work on. So they'd be working on building a community that they could draw wisdom from later.
All right, good point. Emily, thank you. Good point. Okay. Actually, the Emily's point is directly involved with the concept which is newly discussed, like a precise medicine concept. The concept of precise medicine. Okay. Yeah. So the precise medicine means it can be connected with all the stakeholders, like patients and guardians, doctors, facilities, hospitals, communities, and something like that. Then the medicine should be optimized in this multiple interest, with this multiple variety of interests. So Jennifer, Emily actually point out that so the awareness of medicine should be increased. Okay, Genjin, all right, can do that. Okay, with this concept of precise medicine. All right, great, and more communications with their stakeholders. Okay, good point, good suggestion. Okay, this is possible. Okay, this concept is recently possible because of the development of IT technology, actually, in the industry. Any other point? Any other recommendations? No? Then we can move. We can move. So, any question, comment about the case? No? If you are ready to move, please say yes. All right, thank you so much. Okay, so my lecture will be very, very simple. Okay, I already talked about that, right? External, internal analysis. Environments can be external, internal. External, you cannot control. Internal, you can control. And some models. That's it. Porter's 5 forces model. Probably this. Yeah, I have this. Rivalry, threat of potential entrants, threat of substitute, bargaining power of suppliers and buyers. So the beauty of Porter's 5 forces model is the simplicity. It's a simple. Because it's a simple, it's a strong. It explains many things. Okay? The central phenomenon this model is explaining about is very simple. Each of these force, okay, each force, okay, is high than what happened to your profit level, low. This is the central idea. Okay. So, Porter's 5 forces model, threat of potential entrant is high, then your profit what? Low. The bargaining power of suppliers and bargaining power of buyers, high. Your profit, low. Rivalry, high. Your profit, low. Threat of substitute, high. Your profit, low. You got it? This is the central idea of Porter's 5 forces model. That's why we care this, each force. Yeah? Stakeholder analysis means you consider anyone who is involved with your business. These are stakeholders. Stakeholders. So Emily was talking about the awareness of the medicine, right? So why we should care about the awareness? Because we have many stakeholders who can impact our business. Okay? So who are the stakeholders? You should know this. What does each stakeholder want? Then what resource do they contribute to the organization? What claims are they like to make on the organizations? So you know everyone who are involved with your business, then utilize their resources and repay. This is stakeholder analysis. So far so good? Right, internal analysis is about your resource. What you have. This is the internal analysis. Okay. So primary activities, support activities. Primary activities, the flow of raw materials. And other than this, support activities. You will take my strategy management class. Then I will have a chance to talk about a little bit detail. Okay? And internal analysis focus on your strengths and weakness. Why your strengths and weakness? Because it's internal. You can control this. Okay? Then resource-based view. Okay? This view is very simple. If you have a good resource, you will have a competitive advantage. Okay? What are the good resources? If the resource is rare, valuable, durable, inimitable, then it's a good resource. Then you have a competitive advantage. This is a resource-based view. Okay? And we talked about tacit past dependence, something like this. So I'm not going to replicate this. Okay? Core competencies, we talked about that, right? A set of integrated, harmonized abilities that distinguish the firm in the marketplace. The resource, that make your firm successful. That is core competencies. Okay. All right, then identifying core competencies and capabilities is very important. Gen Zim's case, okay? They identified their competencies in orphan drugs, developing orphan drugs, and focusing. Okay? Core rigidities. When firms excel at an activity, they can become overcommitted to it and rigid. Okay? So Gen Z has a potential of this. Okay? And dynamic capabilities are the abilities of firms can be aligned with the changes of environments. Okay? So there is environmental changes, then firms can be quickly aligned with the changes. This is dynamic capabilities. Okay? So it's like a radar. Okay? Then identify any change in the internal environments, then they aligned with the change. These are dynamic capabilities. Okay? So to avoid core rigidities, dynamic capabilities can be a core competencies, okay, in many cases. The dynamic industry, okay, especially in the dynamic industry, like IT industry, biotechnology industry, dynamic capabilities are very, very important. But India, like a very stable industry, like agriculture industry, food industry, okay? Probably dynamic capabilities are less important. Some other core competencies you can think about. Okay. All right. Then strategic intent, strategy, long-term goal that is ambitious, builds on and stretches firm's core competencies and draws from all levels of organizations. This is just a simply strategy. Okay, strategy. Usually 10 years. Okay, but in the IT industry, where the speed of development is very fast, and that industry probably 5 years can be strategy. Okay. Balance scorecard. So it's a performance thing. So how do you evaluate your performance? Then strategists can use balance scorecard, okay, with some financial statements. Okay, some financial statements, because balance scorecard contains multiple dimensions of business. Okay? Think about that. Financial statements, okay, financial accounting records. This is all about past. There's no future in those numbers. Okay? And also financial records do not have the appropriate level of evaluation of technology. So balance scorecard, okay, can be used. Balance scorecard is simply you can ask about your business in multiple dimensions. Shareholders, customers, and internals and innovation things. Okay, and each topic. Okay, then you can score. You can have some numbers in each dimension. Then you have better sense about your business. This is balance scorecard. That's it. See, very simple topic. If you understand the core ideas, the fundamental ideas of strategy management. Okay. So, any question, comment? If you don't, please say no. Am I too speedy? Is it too fast? Anyone think I'm too fast? Okay, not too fast. All right, great. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, if you don't have any question, comment, okay, I will see you on Thursday. Okay, Thursday, we're gonna talk about new topic, choosing innovation projects. Okay. All right, great. You're doing good. You're doing good. Thank you, Mallory. Thank you, Mallory. Okay, thank you, Marshall. Okay. Thank you, Molly. All right, Courtney, Rook, thank you so much. Emily, thank you. Good discussion, Emily. Okay, Noah, thank you. So thank you, everyone.